What's up, crypto universe, and happy Halloween, everybody! Today we're gonna have a very scary episode for you. It's on crypto scam.
Ooh, scary.
Right, my name is Eugene, and we
No Jordan.
no Jordan
Again.
But in replace of Jordan, we have a special guest with us today, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Leslie.
Hello.
He brought the alcohol.
And he brought the alcohol.
As the guest, I am privileged to say that I'm privileged to actually take this and share with the team. Okay.
Cool. And Leslie is from Singapore Bitcoin Club. He's been in the scene for God knows how long.
4 years.
Okay, so today we're going to bring him on board because we're going to talk about scams and stuff that really will be very horrifying in the crypto world. Stuff that you don't want to get into. Because every other week we talk about coins that you can possibly consider to get into. But today is how to avoid losing money.
There are just some coins that you should never buy.
That's right. Okay, so we have Eugene, Leslie, and of course,
Malcolm. Hey,
in the
guys.
house. Fans of Rock the Block Live, if you're watching us today and you're wondering what happened to Jordan, well, that's because Jordan has left for New Zealand to do his millennial backpacking trip for 1 year. And you can actually click on the link below if you want to follow his adventures in New Zealand.
Thank you, Jordan, for opening up a spot. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Just a Jordan, man.
All right, Leslie, since you're a special guest for today, you get to pick the 3 taboo words.
Scam. Money. Investment.
Prepare to drink.
Okay, prepare the drink, guys. All right.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Ponzi, we're going to talk about pump and dump, and we're going to talk about social media impersonation. And these are all very prevalent scam tactics in the community. And you might be thinking to yourself, hey, this is dumb. Who will fall for that? And you'll be surprised. Millions of dollars have been lost to such scams. Malcolm, with Ponzi scheme, take it away.
All right, guys. I think many of you have heard about BitConnect. It was actually a very, very famous Ponzi that started a few years back. Only start of this year, it was actually by police. It was actually closed down. They actually managed to raise a total of $2.6 billion in market cap, selling one BCC token for $430 per token. When the news was found that they actually were closed down by authorities in the US, the token value fell to like $2-3. So can you imagine the horror and the fear of investors? So how do these people make money? You know, I mean, BitConnect is old news, right? And many of us have heard about it, and it's a really important story for us to really digest. It says that with its special trading bot, it helped people to earn 1% a day, and with a $10,000 investment, you could get 40% per month. Wow. Returns of your money.
Times 12 months,
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
480%.
But of course, the principal is being locked, and you cannot take out the principal, so you're really depending on the 40% per month. Now, the reason why it got so viral was because of its pyramid marketing scheme. So if you refer people, you have a percentage of what they invested, and people made millions for just referring friends. Now, with all Ponzi schemes, there is money to be made if you come in early. The people who came in early for BitConnect made tons of money, but eventually it will run out. Now that BitConnect has been, engraved in people's mind, they are very scared of Ponzi schemes, right? And because BitConnect was so successful, because it sold half-truths, it was selling people, it was trading stuff to get the money. Money.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not doing Jordan's job.
But actually, they were just taking person A money to pay person B, and then taking person C to pay person B. So that was how it worked. But now, there's a lot of other Ponzi schemes coming out, okay? But they are smarter. They don't even hide behind half-truths, which I guess I gotta respect in some way. Like for example, Ether333.io. So, okay.
That's a nice name as well.
Yeah. So 333ether.io, they promise you to pay between 1 to 3% a day, okay, of whatever you invested, and it's lifetime. So your money is locked in there forever. And what they say is they actually use smart contracts to distribute the money. So whatever money that's being pumped into this smart contract, it will automatically be given out to people who invested.
Wow.
Although, just to take note, 9% of all the money will be taken out to do stuff like marketing and as well as like spreading the name or the brand of this Ether 333. You know, so I guess that's how they get new people in, and also that money is used to pay for referrals.
So basically, they don't kill the golden goose. They milk you throughout your lifetime.
Yeah. So I mean, the cool thing, I mean, to me, it's cool is that they don't even bother to, you know, try to mask it or try to act like, you know, they're righteous or they earn money in a different way. They're just called distribution programs, all right? And their main idea is just, you guys know how Ponzi works, we respect that, and if you guys still want to make money because there's money to be made, come join us, you know. So there's a few, like for example, this one has been running for quite some time. It has 1,800 over contributors with 5,000 over ETHs put in, and that's equivalent to about $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's just churning out 1 to 3% to everybody every day.
How long is the project on?
I think the project has been around for like a few months, maybe 3 months.
Still early, right?
know?
Okay.
So I mean, at the end of the day, you do have a little bit of assurance in terms of transparency, because you can kind of see that there's still money in the contract.
Okay, money again. There you go.
Alright.
Oh, money. Oh,
I'm doing
shit.
some job, yeah.
By the end of the day, you know, you never know when they can actually code the smart contract to look like it's, you know, unhackable or this like really watertight. There may be some vulnerabilities that it coded into the contract.
Did you cover that about the backdoor?
Yeah. So you never know, because only the creator of the contract knows exactly how to work it, you know. So from a user point of view, you look at it, it looks legit, but you never know if there's a backdoor to the contract. Now, just some other examples is ethersmart.io giving out 4% daily interest, and they only and I mean, to them it's attractive because they're only asking a minimum deposit of 0.01 ETH. So
Because
that's like
when
the
you
starting
lose so
price.
little, you won't even copy about it.
You know.
So there's a gambling component to this,
Yeah,
right?
there
So
is,
it's
there is.
asking you to say I risk 0.01 Ether and I'll get 4% every day.
Yeah, so the game of Ponzi is firstly, like we said, get in early. Although we are not asking you to try it at all, but how it's being used is that to get in early, that's number one. And number two is really about the break-even point. Gambling that whether you will reach that break-even point. So if 4% a day, your break-even point is between 25 to 26 days.
Wow, that's very fast.
That's too fast.
So as long as you reach that 25 to 26 days, anything beyond that is profit.
But can you withdraw it? Because there are certain scams that, you know,
So that's
when
another
you want to
one,
withdraw it, you realize that, oh, you can't.
Yeah, so all of these Ponzi schemes do not allow you to withdraw your principal amount. There's always a forever lock kind of concept, but excuse me.
I shouldn't bought the bubblies.
but you know, as long as you can, if you bet that it can survive for 26 days at least, then you're safe. But you know, I really don't recommend any of
Just
these.
like the Russian roulette, right? You know, you just pass the bag around, a musical chair rather. So you holds the bag.
I am
around,
so amazed that you use the phrase Russian roulette, because all of these are created by Russians. And I think that they had this concept, they are years beyond any of us in terms of Ponzi schemes. They know how to make it work, they know the current trends, and they know how to grab people in, because it's like, hey, you know, we are early, you be an early investor, you're confirmed to make money. You know, I think it is, you have to ask yourself some questions before you talk about any of these Ponzi schemes. The first question is, how are they generating revenue? How are they generating money? You know, and second thing is really about credibility. But if you have this credibility kind of like check that you do, you will never ever touch Ponzi schemes, because none of them are registered companies, and none of them actually put faces of founders or people. You know, in a way, Ponzi's, to me, these outright ones are a little bit more honest than ICOs who put white papers, who put big teams and faces.
I was just thinking about that, because there are also, you know, scammy ICOs that really masquerade as good projects and then just run away with the money.
So I mean, in a way, if you think about it, that's much worse, because then you are buying into a promise that never comes true. Whereas you're buying into a Ponzi, although you know the risk, and you are prepared for the risk. But many investors are not prepared for the risk when they buy into an ICO. They don't understand the ICO who doesn't deliver about its promises and stuff like that.
I think most of the these Ponzi schemes, they have very good marketing team. They market it very well to the point that they allow people and promises that they will keep. And usually what they do is on the first month, they would give you some back in terms of referral, you know, giving you some of your investments back. And then they, oh, I'm sorry. Okay. And they will actually lure you back in again. So that's the name of the game for Ponzi schemes. We don't encourage it in Singapore Bitcoin Club.
Here's an advice for all you legit founders out there of various ICO projects who are struggling trying to onboard new users because your marketing sucks. Instead of hiring expensive marketing company, may I suggest you look for Russian Ponzi developers and get them to market for you guys, because these guys are really good at marketing.
Well, I mean, just a few last points I want to touch on. The reason why Ponzi schemes are so popular in the blockchain space is because you think about it. Before blockchain came out, you know, it's impossible for you to transfer money to a random Russian guy, you know, or to someone who has a company in Cayman Islands, for example. In Singapore, the infrastructure does not allow us to do that kind of transactions. You know, so when Ponzi scheme, when blockchain became popular, people in the Ponzi scheme were like, yes, because now they can actually collect money from people all over the world without having to go through any kind of bank checks, bank transfers, auditing processes, nothing. And the cool thing is also they can actually show people that they've actually transferred the money to their accounts with low transaction fees. Because for example, if you do it in a traditional space, by the time the money actually reaches your account, you know, maybe half of it is eaten up by transaction fees.
And also these days, the banks are very smart. If you're going to do a TT over to say Russia or Africa or those countries that is very, the banks will actually ask you, we have a red flag, and they'll tell you double check on that. Okay, are we done with Ponzi?
Yeah,
done with Ponzi. Let's get on to social media impersonation.
Yeah, so here's some stats for you guys. And this is from Australia. I don't have the stats from the world. So in Australia itself, there's 117,000 people that reported scams from social media, and the highest total amount is $89 million being lost. Okay, Aussie dollars. And the number one category that people lose money in Australia is investment scams. Sorry, yeah, there you go.
Investment and scams.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't check the charts when we look for the words, didn't we? Yeah. And the second one is dating and romance. Well, that's catfishing for most people who don't understand. So the primary number one thing that most people fall on the social media is that there are few channels that people always go and fall easily. Number one is Telegram. That's this really a very dangerous place for you guys to get your click on links, information, things like that. A lot of people, well, I have to use the word scammers, can I? Yeah. So on that note itself, the scammers themselves, they impersonate the official ICO project owners. So if, let's say, Eugene has an ICO project and I've got his Facebook account, I see his photo, I can just crop that. I can create a Telegram monkey name by the name of Eugene Tay. That's provided if it's not been taken up. If not, I could put Eugene T or something like that, basically. And as a result, I would announce to through the community channel to say that, hey guys, we're going to give an airdrop. We need your Ether address. And when you give your Ether address, they are able to trace and hack through the My Ether wallet, basically. And they will ask for your private keys.
Really? Like if you have my public key, you can hack me?
Yeah. It's quite straightforward because I mean that's blockchain easy crypto 101, right?
Sometimes they even ask you to give us 0.1 Ether just to be sure that that's your account and we'll return.
Yeah, it could be something like that as well. They are very creative, right? That's the word, right? To actually try and think of ways to actually convince you to park your crypto assets over to them.
Yeah, actually I had a very interesting experience because so one YouTuber actually contacted me on Telegram, and that's also very common, saying that they are able to provide like marketing services, like creating videos and stuff. Okay. So I was of course very suspicious, right? Yeah. So I told him, hey, link me your YouTube channel. I went to the YouTube channel, I saw the official email address, I said, email me at my email address with that particular email that's listed on your YouTube for me to verify that you're the real person.
Wow, you're quite smart with that.
But the super scary thing is he did indeed email me, and it was the exact same email as the YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, he's been compromised?
I have no idea how he did it, but when I went to that, because that YouTuber is quite famous, right? I went to his channel and I clicked I messaged him. I could see that my history was blank. So I knew that wasn't the guy I'm talking to.
Oh wow!
But his Telegram handle and his email is totally the same. I have no idea how they do it. It's so scary. Spoofing or something. I have no idea. But it's that's really too much, right?
Yeah. The other one would be in Facebook groups that I want to talk about, because Facebook groups you can join to learn. Most newbies at this point of time, I mean, we had our fair share, right? I started 4 years ago and I joined all the groups I could find to actually find out more about what Bitcoin is all about. There was somebody who approached me and said, hey, do you want to buy Bitcoin? And I was like, okay, this is a bit iffy. So I had my reservations and I went on to communicate with him in hopes to see if this is real or not. I was very naive back then. So when I talked to him, I said, hey, if you want to do these transactions, I need to see some form of identification. So in Singapore, I guess that naivety came about. If you think that I gave you my IC identification, the risk of you scamming me is actually very low, right? Because I just gave you my identification card, a picture of that. And so this person actually gave full details, whatever asked he gave me. I was quite shocked because I thought that was very genuine. However, his Facebook account was dubious. And I had an iffy feeling, but I still went ahead because that time Bitcoin's price was only like $900. I was like, oh yeah, I do want to get some. And he's offering it at $700.
Wow,
so you're like, that's the lure, right? So I said, okay, cool. How many Bitcoins do you want? I said, can I get 2 from you then? So, but he was in Malaysia.
Okay.
And so I had to transfer to a Maybank account.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about Maybank, which is interesting because Maybank's account in Malaysia is short of 1 digit. And Singapore's bank accounts is extra 1 digit. So I can't transfer over because from the ATM machine, there was a preventive measure. So I couldn't go to a cash machine to do that. He was chasing me and saying, I got another deal on chasing me, and they start to FOMO me. So okay, I'm going to give you that 1,004 basically, and I'm going to transfer the funds. I said, okay, I can't transfer, Maybank. Is this still going to go through? He gave me a HSBC account.
Okay.
And so I went in the next day and I transferred the money, and guess what? You don't get your Bitcoin.
Oh, man.
So that's just a classic move for newbies. Just don't fall for that. I'm just sharing my pain so that nobody does go through that. If you're a newbie, please learn from SBC. I'm sorry I had to shield this. Yes, we teach the right thing to do. Yeah. So that's the main thing about Facebook groups, and I guess that's all I have.
I think it's very important
at this point of time.
Yeah, it's very important for newcomers to find communities. I think that's a great thing about crypto in general is that communities are very strong. So find one in your local community. Try and find someone trustworthy or groups that really share information about legit sites. Like for example, in Singapore, if you want to buy, you use CoinHako, you use Coin.
We'll put the link below. Bitcoin
So
Club.
if you want to learn more, these are the people you should approach before even trying anything. Because in crypto, the scary thing is that you are totally in charge of your assets.
Exactly.
Many people are not used to that. People are used to transaction reversals. People are used to calling a customer hotline and seeking help. In crypto,
There's nothing like this in crypto.
Crypto is peer-to-peer, that's the thing. So there's no intermediary to protect.
There's pros and there's a lot of cons for people who don't do their homework.
Okay, so now on to the final one, which is pump and dump. Okay, pump and dump, as the name implies, there will be a spike in the coin's price, pump, and then it gets dumped. So how it works is a very simple mechanism. You can go on a Telegram group, Discord group. There are so many pump and dump groups out there. As of last count, there are 187 pump and dump groups still active. Okay, I do suspect that most of these pump and dump groups are actually the same people, just coming out with different names. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to share a real life experience on how I actually sat beside a pumper and dumper and watched how he coordinated and orchestrated the whole thing. at some level, you got to kind of admire these people for the ingenuity and the tenacity into really pulling this off. It is work, you know. It's
To gather everybody and convince them like, hey,
work.
this coin going to moon.
Except unfortunately, they put their talent into
wrong place.
scamming others,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay, he knew it was coming.
So pump and dump, how it works is there'll be a guy, a master organizer who says, hey, I am going to give you guys a signal. We're all going to be in this together. Why wait for people to buy and pump the coins and go with the market forces? Why don't all of us put our money in and pump it up, right? And when the market start to follow our pump, because as you know, fear of missing out, when you see a coin starts to go moon, you really jump in and you start to buy. And that's when we will all, as good friends, dump it and make money together. However, most of the people who actually became victim of these scams, they are the ones who are outside the circle of influence. In a proper pump and dump scheme, if the three of us are good friends, we are going to be the organizer.
The core.
The core. Okay,
Correct.
so let's just assume, for the sake of just trying to illustrate this to you guys, I am the organizer. Okay, you are my paying victim.
Okay.
You are the free victim. Okay. So I make the most money out of it. Why? Because I would say, hey, I'll look out for coins that has very low market cap. Right. I'll probably play this coin on Cryptopia or Yobit.
Ouch.
Yeah, aren't you from Cryptopia?
No.
Oh, that's crypto with a K, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so Cryptopia and Yobit are popular exchanges for pumpers and dumpers to frequent. So they will spot a coin. So let's say I spot coin ABC, okay? And because you are my paying victim, a paying victim will be Malcolm decides to pay me a monthly membership to receive my signal.
So you're like my trading guru.
Yeah, I'm your trading guru.
I am the guy paying you and say, hey, please give me a signal.
Yeah,
every
so I said
month.
Wednesday night, 9 p.m., go in, buy coin ABC.
Okay,
But I will only tell you this 5 minutes before 9 p.m.
I see.
Okay?
So you buy first.
But I'll go in first. I'll go in and I'll buy and I'll wait, right? And then I will tell you, which is on the free group, like everybody else in the bottom of the pyramid, I said, at 9:05, right? Buy coin ABC and buy as much as you can till it hits this target.
Yeah.
Okay? Then I tell you, at about 9:05, 9:07, you start to sell.
I
Okay?
see. So it's a coordinated.
Coordinated. So when I go in, I put my money in early, you or the paying victims start to buy, okay, it goes up. I may choose to sell then, or I may wait for this bunch of idiots to come in and start to buy. But the problem with all these people is they will tell you the fastest finger first, because the faster you go in, the faster you buy, the faster you get out. So everyone at the end of the buying spree holds the bag. But the thing is, the free guys, the guys who's not paying me a single cent, who just want the signal, will be the bag holders. So you would go into the exchange and you would just click buy now and you will start hammering on it, because you will not spend a time to look at the charts and everything.
Yeah, with the
You will
tiers
just
and all.
go in straight.
Thinking that it has further room to grow, right?
Yes. And this have happened over and over and over again. And it's always the lure of easy cash, fast cash. And you notice that one of the common similarity between all this pump and dump group is, while they're giving you the signals on Telegram, there is never a way for you to reply, text, or ask the questions or post something. So you can only receive and not report about it. And what was scary was last June, I actually did a tell-all, an investigative feature on pump and dump. Take a look at this video. And so this is how the pump and dump scheme really work, right?
yeah.
So they will show you, oh, we have made this amount, we have made this amount. And when you actually click on the exchanges, it was actually pump. You can really see the pump and you can see the dump.
It's very tempting, right?
It's
right on
very,
this
very
looks, yeah.
tempting. In fact, I spent money to investigate and try it out.
Okay.
And twice. So once I was a free guy, I was the idiot, right?
Okay.
So the second one, I decided to pay for it. And yes, you can make money, but you are never,
Oh, okay, there you go. Finally, we save money.
but you are never ever going to be the guy that really earns the most. And even if you're paying, there's VIP group, sub-VIP group, multiple different layers.
Friends and family and stuff like that.
So my point is, it's a very dangerous game to play a P&D. 99% of the pump and dump are actually scams.
So Eugene, yeah, okay, there you go, scams. I have a question then.
Yeah.
Exchanges.
Yeah.
So if exchanges are, the onset of protecting the trades would be on the exchanges, right? What are exchanges doing at this point in time?
Good question. In fact, some exchanges have a knee-jerk reaction to do to avoid getting the pump and dump spike. Okay, but generally, pumpers and dumpers don't go to these major exchanges to play with it.
Right.
So they prefer the almost
There,
small,
there will be
small
smaller
ones.
exchanges.
Who
they
welcome the volume,
who welcome
right?
the volume.
Yeah.
And I think, this is just my personal opinion,
Okay.
I won't be surprised if the founders of these exchanges are actually the ones in it.
I guess it
Right? It makes sense,
sense,
right?
yeah,
Like
it
I
makes
would have,
sense.
if I'm a pumper and dumper, I would have started this. So again, I want to share with you guys a personal experience on how pump and dump has evolved since 2017. The video you watched just now was a 2017 video. How it worked out now is it's very complex. They no longer kill the golden goose. They realize that the quick pump and the quick dump kills people off, and as people start to wisen up, you're never going to be able to sustain that for a long time. So now they have multiple pump and dump groups that work as a concert together. Okay, think about it. Now we three are pump and dump groups.
Right.
Okay, if you make money 2 times out of 3, would you stay?
Of course.
You would, right? 2 times out of 3, you'd stay.
Sounds good.
So today, this pump and dump group will be the one making the money. I go in first. I come out first. You're the second guy. You're the back holder.
So there are some levels to.
So today you lose money, right?
Yeah.
The next pump and dump tomorrow, I rotate again.
Ah.
Now I become the back holder.
Yeah.
So as long as 2 out of 3 times you don't lose money, you continue to play the game.
Nice.
So the people are still happy, right? At the end of the day.
There will always be some unhappy people, but like as I said, they have come to a point where this becomes a complex money-making scheme that actually works on and on and on and on.
And this is illegal, right? In traditional.
This is
markets.
illegal, it's unethical, but at the same time, this is also crypto.
It's because it's unregulated.
Yeah,
it's
that's
still so
right.
young.
Yeah.
Like, I do not like it. I'm just amazed at the ingenuity of it.
Yeah.
And for them, the people who are doing a pump and dump, they are not afraid or ashamed to talk about it, because as far as they are concerned,
Making money is important.
they are the Robin Hood of the world. They are helping people make cash.
And technically, it's still not illegal, so they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, because there's no laws to
no laws.
to do this.
When I talk about being unethical, I talk about, this is not right. They tell me that's because you have not been making money.
If you make money, you
And they invited me to come in and said, would you like to be part of the core circle? And I'm not, at that point of time, I'll be very honest here, right? At that moment in time, that split second, I was thinking,
Oh yeah.
why not?
no, you're going to be a core, no? And then I start to doubt, like, why would they ask me to be core? Will I be the core, or will I be like the VIP level 3 core where I'm one of the other? No, but then again, I cannot sit here in front of you guys on the video talking about all this if I'm actually part of it. So I did not take part in that, but I'm here to share with you how they're actually doing it. And just in this first 6 months of this year, the total amount of pump and dump money that was trading around was 800 over million.
Wow.
Oh,
That's like
wow.
so much of the
And
market
it
cap
is
right now.
not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I think, from a personal note, I feel pump and dumps, the one that it hurts most, not only is the retail investors, but the projects themselves.
Yeah.
Especially the projects who are doing real work and trying to raise awareness of what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
When they become a victim of a pump and dump, people who are back holders, not because they believe in the project, but because they bought it at a high, all they do is go into these Telegram groups and ask them when Moon, when you're going to recover. Because basically what happens is that these projects who have very loyal supporters, because of pump and dumps, loyal supporters still do have a threshold.
Yeah.
They exited and says, no, enough for me. And then they traded loyal supporters for people who are involuntary backholders. And that is very devastating to any project, because then these backholders who do not actually want to be part of the project are just pestering the founders to give more updates, to do things faster. And that's not really how it works. Projects do set targets, but to rush them, to say that they are lazy because they're not working fast enough, is very demoralizing for the whole entire
Siacoin,
ecosystem.
Viacoin, Stella, even Cardano in the early days were all pumping down.
Victims.
Here's the thing: the coins that that you mentioned earlier, those coins when in the early days to list on any of the exchanges, it was quite easy. I don't think some of this was even free to even list on the exchanges. So I would think that if I have a good project and I'm a project owner, basically, I would want to choose the right exchange to be on, to minimize the risk of the P&D.
But I think sometimes exchanges list you without your knowledge. Like recently, an exchange called Bilexi
Really?
actually had listed certain projects without their permission or without them knowing about it. They just listed them there. So some of these guys actually didn't agree or sign anything. It's
But there's
just
nothing to stop that, right? If I'm a
Yeah.
back holder for that particular coin, I want to
I think
exchange.
as an
you can't
exchange,
stop
as long as you are ARC20 or I support the kind of system that you are using, I can just list you on my exchange, and with enough volume or liquidity, that I can afford to do a trading. So I guess sometimes it is very hard to know when these pump and dumps will come. And there's also you're not doing your community a favor if your community knew that you were offered a new liquidity option, especially for example a smaller exchange, but it's still expanding the project, but you refused. Community also won't be happy about that.
True.
So it's very hard to balance sometimes. So I do empathize with the project owners as well.
Right.
Sometimes I think the community is doing more harm than good. Something, like really like if your community is always bugging you for when moon, when number, when exchange, that's the kind of community you can do without, right?
It's quite tiring. I'm sure for them. Yeah.
All right, so guys, in conclusion, these are the ways to avoid scams and so you don't lose money from your bad investments.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
If any projects out there promise you huge returns,
Guaranteed return.
guaranteed returns, and if you look at the market, it being bearish and
Sluggish,
everything, but they still tell you 1%, 4%, no matter what, red flag.
Red flag.
Okay. If someone tells you, if you join us and we will all make money together, look, this is the world of greed. No one's going to share their wealth with you. Okay? And if you're not paying for it, you're going to be the idiot who's holding the bag.
And if there's multi-tiered, referrals, that should be a huge warning sign. That things are going wrong. I mean, it's okay to have one-tier referral, like you refer a friend, you get something.
Not pyramid stuff.
But if a pyramid style where it goes to 3 tiers, 4 tiers, that is scary.
And if any celebrities, influencers text you, message you, email you,
Check.
right? Yeah, like even McAfee himself have been so involved in all these schemes himself, right? So you really shouldn't trust people who just come up to you privately and talk about it. If you have any doubts at all, there are so many different groups to talk to. Rock the Block will be happy to receive your message. In fact, I think some of you have emailed us privately asking for advice, guidance through to get your first Bitcoin. Great, keep doing that. Talk to us. We're happy to share. SBC, of course, Leslie will talk to him directly. We'll give you his phone number straight up. So you can dox him. So anytime you're not sure, like look, the celebrity impersonation, like the way you say about email and address, no matter how careful you are, there's always ways to get scammed. Right? So that's all we have for you today. Leslie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Jordan, for bringing up the space.
Right. You're watching Rock the Block live review, and I will see you guys next week.
See you guys.
See you.
Cheers.
Yes.
To commemorate Bitcoin's 10-year anniversary, Rock the Block is organizing a global treasure hunt where you guys can win for yourself some Bitcoins. We call it Satoshi's Quest. The private key to our prized Bitcoin wallet is made up of 52 alphanumeric characters. They can be numbers, capital letters, or small cap letters. And we are giving you 3 sets of private key pieces. Each of these private key pieces contain 15 alphanumeric characters. Putting them together will give you 45 characters. The sequence of the private key can be in any order, so it's really up to you to figure that one out. Now, 45 keys out of 52, that's right, because we will be revealing 4 of the front characters and 3 of the ending characters via our newsletter for registered participants who filled up a form and submitted on rocktheblock.live. And to register, it's really very simple. All you have to do is just show proof of participation. And you can do that by liking, sharing, following, and subscribing to us on our social media channels. Now, there is a deadline for your registration, so do not delay. Head on to our website at rocktheblock.live for more information. Satoshi's Quest will be running from the 31st of October 2018 and all the way to the 3rd of January 2019. We'll be hiding all these clues on our social media channels, so keep an eye out for it, because who knows, you might be the one who solves Satoshi's Quest and walk away with the Bitcoin prize money. Well, my name is Eugene. Good luck everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. In Satoshi's Bitcoin paper, there's a section on network, nodes, and new transaction broadcasts. What is the most common pattern you can see?